Alright everyone, so welcome to Devlog 3 of Monsta Choppa, my VR fantasy game. So in the last episode I just went through the UI and the settings and the localization I had set up, and this week I want to focus on the first proper arena of the game and how the gameplay loop is shaping up. So this will be what you see when you first load into the level. I wanted to keep it kind of straightforward and simple since this is, like easy mode, easy level, nothing crazy. Kind of a nice flat open area to battle some gobbles in with some kind of like cool tusks and tents everywhere. And the idea with the game loop is that you're just dropped into this arena and enemies will spawn in waves and come at you, and everything will kind of ramp up until you hit the boss fight at the end. In VR, the layout, you don't want to have like very cluttered layout. It wants to be nice and open so the player can kind of feel like they can kind of move around without smashing into walls or anything, kind of keep everything at a nice eye level and not just look good from a top-down view. So a big focus when creating these arenas is the optimization, especially since my baseline target is a Quest 2. And for that, there's a few things you have to look out for, but a big one is the kind of meshes and the tries and verts counts, which is like how complex the 3D models are, and your draw calls, which is like the CPU telling the GPU what to display. The arena itself runs through a different set of states, which I have running through this arena state manager. And you kind of goes from like the prelude, wave active, you have your intermissions. When you complete the wave, there's like the boss intermissions when you beat the boss, and then there's, your game over and your game one. And you kind of have, as you progress through the arena, it switches these states and this triggers new music, new events, new... So an example of that is you'll see the UI here. So on the entry, when it's the prelude state, you have this nice little pop-up that kind of explains like, hey, this is the name of the arena, this is the day it's in, and this is all localized. And then when it gets to the boss section, you'll have the text appear where it's like the boss appears and it'll have the name of the boss, all of that good stuff. I still want to try to figure out how it's going to look since it does have to be world space and you can't just do cutscenes and cutaways. That was something I tried and failed at, which I kind of just accepted isn't good for VR, was having, a cutscene where you start the game, there's like a flyover of the arena, and then when the boss appears, the camera kind of cuts to the boss, but it was just too much to work with a VR headset without causing a load of motion sickness. So I kind of just keep it static and hope the player can see it. With these arenas, I'm trying to build it so it's very modular, which means everything can be swapped out very easily. Once I have the first version made, then I can easily make loads and loads of different arenas and different variations fairly quickly. So this is what the kind of arena data looks like. So I've kind of got, you can customize like the name, the difficulty, the music that plays. So every arena will have its own boss music, its own intermission music, its own fight music, etc. And then each wave is kind of its own swappable piece of data too, where all you say is, hey, I want this enemy in this wave and I want to spawn this amount. So you can say wave 1, I want 5 goblins and 2 orcs. And this way I can kind of make unique waves for every arena in like 5-10 minutes. And then at the end, you have the boss fight, and I'll have to see what effects I can do in VR without tanking the FPS. But for now, it just spawns a unique boss at the end. It'll have its own unique music, and once you defeat the boss, every arena will have one. Then that's when you kind of get your victory. So that's pretty much it for this week on what I've got with the arena setup. I'm very happy with how things are going so far. I'm pretty excited. We'll see how it goes from here. If you're interested, like always, subscribe, give it a like, let me know if you have any suggestions, what you think. Feel free to join a Discord. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.